Hey everyone, welcome back to Boatholic. Join us on our journey fitting out a 2008 Sealine SC35 that was used as a demonstration model and was never fully completed by the factory. In the last episode we started the process of fitting internal framework. This will form the base to which our furniture and cabinetry will all be fitted. When these boats were in production between 2008 and 2014, the factory would have produced internal mouldings out of fiberglass, which were then bonded and glassed into place. The furniture is then fitted afterwards and fits perfectly within these mouldings. They did this because it allowed them to mass produce these boats quickly and at a competitive price. This is common practice in boat building, and you can easily identify if a boat has used internal mouldings during the production process, as you will often see shiny fiberglass underneath cabin beds, on ceilings and beneath the floor. Because we don't have access to the internal moulds used by the factory, we need to produce all this framework from scratch. Some manufacturers, such as Sunseeker here in the UK, still use internal framework, and the interiors on these boats are simply stunning. And for us, it means we can customise the interior to our own taste. So let's pick up where we finished last time. So Richard has made us this nice frame that goes across here. That is also perfectly level with this piece under here as well, so this dimension is equal all the way along, so it's 630mm. And what we'll do is we're going to make these sort of panels effectively, so these little infill pieces. Pop some screws in here, we'll be able to pop those screws out, and then behind that you've got the vertical frame, and we'll be able to glass that, bond it and glass it straight onto this bulkhead, and also glass it onto here as well, and same deal here. So remove that, there's a vertical piece behind there, you just see that running up. We've scribed it to the hull, runs all the way down. I'll just be able to glass onto the hull then, so that will meet, this would be super strong, and then we'll be able to screw our what's going to be wall units, isn't it, for the kitchen just there, and base units down here. And while Rich has been doing that, I've been working in the back. I'll just set up the light. So I've created this frame in here as well, still got the top piece to make for that. Same deal again, just two sort of horizontal frames, these infill pieces scribed onto these stringers. So you can see here we've got these vertical pieces, left a 10-15mm gap behind, be able to glass them onto there, again nice and strong. So that just all wants bonding together, so we'll glue this all together, we'll resin the back and paint the front. So next we're going to be moving, we're just going to keep on trucking with the framing, to be honest with you. So next we need to look at this front cabin, master cabin. Just set the light up. So we need now, we've got these two vertical rails that run back here through the saloon, and some years ago now we actually made the vertical pieces that went all the way onto the bulkhead, but then we ended up changing this bulkhead once we realised it wasn't right, so that was taken out and put in storage. So we've still got that, so what we're going to do is clean it up, and we're going to we did bond it originally to the old bulkhead, so we just need to clean it up, and we're going to offer it into place and see how it looks, and then that will start to form the ceiling. So we'll have two vertical stringers, if you like, whatever you want to call it, pieces of frame going down this way. They'll be sort of T-shaped, and then we'll then have some horizontal framing coming off, and actually that's what the pads will be mounted on, and we're also going to have some recessed LEDs in the ceiling as well, so that will all form part of that. So just down in the workshop, and Richard has removed this piece off the front. So this was what was originally glassed to our original bulkhead, so he's just cleaned that off, and he's just cleaned the end up here as well. So just clean that all off, and this is all salvageable, to be honest with you. It's been stood at the back of the workshop here. Kept it fairly straight, so I mean it needs a bit of a sand, a bit of tidying up, but actually perfectly salvageable. So we'll offer this into place, see how it looks, and then we get it cleaned up. Okay, so we've got our ceiling framing. This was made actually several years ago, and we're just looking at it again, and we're just thinking we can actually lift this closer to underside of the deck, and it will just give us a little bit more headroom. We've actually measured this here against a factory boat, and we're pretty much within a few millimetres, we're exactly the same. But if you look at the thickness here that we're losing in terms of headroom, we just think actually we can move this frame just a little bit closer to the ceiling, and we can probably gain maybe 10-20 millimetres more headroom here, and 40 down at this end. So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to construct this slightly differently as well, because at the moment we've got these rails on the side, and what we're going to do is put the rails on the underside. So we create like a T-piece, if you like, a T-section if you look across it, and we just think that'll be a little bit stronger, and it means that we can then bring our LED lighting and all of that sort of stuff, we can just bring that in a little bit tighter to this opening here for the skylight. So yeah, so 60mm off this end, we're going to take 20mm off this end, overall 40mm, a little bit higher that end. Okay, slight change of plan. So we've just realised actually before we get this fixed into place and the bulkhead dropped in, we just need to recess our blind. So we'd already got this blind actually, bought this some time ago. It's an ocean air and it's a dual, so it's a blackout and a fly screen as well. And this is a flush mount one, so this is actually designed to be either flush mount or actually what we're going to do is recess mount it, which seems to be sort of quite typical of the boat builders. It's what they did on the original SC35. So basically the pad material actually goes over the top of this frame and will sort of stop here, so you'll literally just see the blackout blind and the fly screen, and you won't actually see this frame. Pads will just come up to the edge here. So all we've done is just recessed out the woodwork, so we've just routed this out 7mm, and that just allows that to sit then flush with pads going over the top. And we've also deliberately oversized this routing as well, so that just gives us a little bit of adjustment when we're in the boat, just to make sure that this exactly lines up with the hatch. We've got a Lumar 44 hatch, and we just need to make sure obviously that we just need a little bit of adjustment to make sure that lines up. And then we will also have within this there'll be like a liner that goes up to the hatch as well, like a white liner, so that's something we can do later. But yeah, that's all set and ready to go, so we can put that back into storage now and we can drop this frame in.
Thinking it might not.
That door frame is in, so we've rebaited this side of the door frame, and that just allows this 12mm panel to fit in here, just to join those two bulkheads together. Now that actually is the original panel. In fact, you can see the CNC mark on here from Sealine. We will actually be replacing that because we're a little bit short at the top. Fine at the bottom actually, that looks fine, but a little bit short at the top, so we'll cut a new one of those, but that's fine. We've just got this in temporary just so we can get this doorway back in. That's now holding, you can see the two frame legs that's holding this ceiling frame in place now. Obviously we've got the routed bit out now for the blind, and that all lines up with that hatch, so that's great. So next what we're going to do is cut some horizontal support sort of beams, if you like. So we've got to have three. So we've got one where that spirit level is at the moment, we've got one a little bit further back at 600, and another one here at 1200, and then again that will be T-shaped like this. We've just got to scribe it to the underside of the deck. So it's a little bit of an organic shape, that. So what we'll do is we'll cut a piece of wood and then we'll use the scriber and get that scribed properly. We've cut those horizontal, what would you call them, ceiling supports, and we've contoured them to the underside of the deck, left a 10-50mm gap, and they will get glassed onto the underside of the hull. We've also cut another 4 of those as well, so we've got one to go across here and one to go across here, and we'll do the same on that side as well. And then we'll have a 100mm strip on the underside that will pick up the pads, and we're also going to recess some LED lighting in there as well, so we'll have 3 sort of lines of LED lighting that's recessed into the ceiling pads. So that's all part of the plan, but at the moment, before we sort of fix any of that into place, we also want to just think about storage. So in the original SC35 they just had a shelf that ran across here, and then they've also got, or the factory also put in a wardrobe, an angled wardrobe here. We'd really like a bit more storage than that, so we're thinking 3 storage lockers along here that hinge up, and then maybe a little sort of open storage bin at the end here on that side, and on that side. Plan is to 3D scan. We've got a 3D scanner, so we're going to scan all of this, and then we can have that furniture made out of lightweight plywood, and we can have that CNC cut. But initially, just to sort of see how it looks, what we're going to do is just mock these up out of scrap bits of timber. So we're going to mock up this storage bin here, and then we're going to mock up effectively a frame that's going to go around this port light, and then we'll know then what sort of height we can work to for these storage bins, and just see if it works. There'll also be a pad here at the end of that frame. The frame will have blinds in recessed underneath it, and we also want like a USB socket and a lamp as well in this end section here. Yeah, just want to tuck your belly in. I'm not bothered, I'm just thinking about the 5,000 subscribers. Okay, that's going to be a wrap for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one.